Right then, welcome back, and today we have Cody Rhodes going one-on-one against Randy Orton in the opening match of our PWI Crown of Kings tournament. Now, this is a 32-person elimination knockout tournament based out of the PWI 500. So we're taking the top 32 people from that. Cody Rhodes was number 1 in that list. Randy Orton was number 32, and that's the way the matches have been decided. We've gone with sort of like a reverse draw, so the highest seeded people will always face the lowest seeded people, and that will continue round after round after round as well. So Cody Rhodes, because he is seeded number 1 in the PWI 500, he will always face the lowest seeded person in each round, if that makes sense. So if Cody was to win here, he would go through and face the lowest seeded person left in the tournament in round number 2. And it's the complete opposite with Randy Orton. Because he is seeded number 32, he will always face the highest seeded person in every single round should he get past Cody Rhodes. Does that make sense? We'll get there, honestly, I promise you. So yeah, we've got 32 wrestlers involved in this one. It's going to be a really fun one. And there is one female in there as well. Masha Slamovich will be facing off against Seth Rollins at one point. Apart from that, they are all males. They span across different countries, different companies and that sort of stuff as well. We've got, obviously, the likes of WWE, AEW, we've got AAA, we've got New Japan, we've got Pro Wrestling Noah, we've got CMLL. We've got a lot of different companies and countries being represented here. So first of all then, Cody Rhodes. Let's check the ranking system. I know he's had a pretty decent year, but he started things off pretty badly, I'm sure. Here we go. So Cody Rhodes is currently on 0 after 34 matches, which does sound bad, but he is actually +4 for this year after 5 matches. So he started the year on -4. So this has been a pretty damn good run for him. And a victory here would put him into the positives for the first time, I think, ever in SWE. And his opponent today, number 32 in the 2025 PWI 500 list. It is Randy Orton. He currently sits in 43rd position in our ranking system with a +9. After 39 matches. He's +6 for this year alone, which I think is mainly down to the fantastic run himself and Edge are having as the YouTube Tag Team Champions. And of course, if you're not sure what we're talking about, check out the link in the description down below. There'll be one to our Discord if you want to join that, but there'll also be another link to our ranking system on Google Sheets, and you'll be able to see all of the rankings for our men, tag teams, women, female tag teams, intergender tag teams, former champions, former event winners, all that sort of good stuff. But just be aware, if you're watching this in the future, there may be some spoilers on certain tabs, so tread with caution. We've been keeping track of every single match we have done on a WWE game since 2021, and we have got one hell of a history set up there now. Lots of different champions. We've got over 1,000 men on our, I think 1,100 now, men on our male roster. We've got over like 200-300 females on there as well, so there's a lot of people to pick from. And hopefully I've covered something for everyone. Right then, we are underway. Yeah, this is our first round match between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. I'll run through the rest of the matches for you briefly. We will have Jon Moxley versus Yota Tsuji, Gunther versus MJF, Hangman Adam Page versus Vikingo, Hiroki Goto versus Mark Briscoe, Jey Uso versus Tetsuya Naito, Swerve Strickland versus Ozawa, Seth Rollins versus Masha Slamovich, Mystico versus Bron Breakker, Will Ospreay versus Mascara Dorada. That's going to be a cracking one, that one. Okada up against LA Knight, Joe Hendry versus Nick Nemeth in a full TNA battle, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jacob Fatu, Obafemi versus Trick Williams in a full NXT battle, CM Punk versus Damian Priest, and finally Bandido versus Konosuke Takeshi. Those two have had some cracking matches this year already in AEW and Ring of Honor, and it's a chance to recreate that here in SWE. So yeah, Cody Rhodes obviously seeded number 1 in the entire tournament, based off of the PWI 500 rankings for 2025, and you'd imagine he would be the favourite to go on and win this tournament just because of where he's based. But both these guys are very, very strong competitors indeed. Of course, both former members of Legacy, which is a tag team I would like to bring in, maybe to try and help Cody out at some point, using Randy to help build him up a little bit. But the issue being that with Randy currently holding the YouTube Tag Team Championship alongside Edge, I don't want to put him into too many tag teams at once. And the winner of the PWI 500, the Crown of Kings tournament, will guarantee themselves an opportunity at the SWE World Heavyweight Championship. That will be next week. Essentially, it's a really important one here, not just for the winner of the entire tournament, but for who he works for as well, because as I have said, I think last week, the winner of the tournament will not only get a shot at the SWE World Heavyweight Championship, but next week, we will build an entire week around them. So it all depends on who it's going to be, to what theme we go for. I mean, there's plenty of different options. I mean, if either of these two win, we could always go for second generation wrestlers, maybe. As a theme, we could bring in Cowboy Bob Orton, Dusty Rhodes, Goldust, maybe the Von Erichs and the young Von Erichs. We've got Tamina and Jimmy Snuka, them sort of things. We could always do that sort of thing. However, there's other ones as well. If it was Obafemi or Trick Williams, we could go down the NXT route once again. I mean, if it's Tetsuya Naito or Yota Tsuji, we can do some New Japan or just Asian wrestling in general. If it's Seth Rollins, we can go for, I don't know, classic Ring of Honor maybe. We could go for, we could do what we spoke about before with the Paul Heyman versus Don Callis guys as well. It's all a case of just deciding what we want to go for, and that's going to be based solely around who wins this tournament. And the way it's going to work, we'll have 4 matches every day from Monday through till Saturday. At that point, we should be down to the final 8. We will have a pay-per-view on Sunday, which will contain all 4 quarterfinals, both the semis, and then straight in to the main final as well. So it's going to be a good week of wrestling for you. And it's pretty back and forth in this match so far. I mean, Randy was in control as I was saying that, but Cody able to turn things round. I'm looking forward, you know, this is really lazy by me, but just knocking out a week of 4 matches a day and all being singles matches just sounds like a dream compared to some of the schedules I've set myself recently, I must admit. As vintage Randy Orton now the draping DDT from the middle rope. And as I say, if Randy was to win this, he is ranked number 32 in the PWI 500. So if he was to win this, he would always face the highest seeded person left. But you still fancy Randy because of how good he is. And look at that. He was going to go for the RKO there. Cody knows him so well, was able to reverse it. Sends Randy down with the power slam. Now turns Randy over in with a crossroads. That could be enough for Cody Rhodes to advance in this tournament. There's the one. No. It was barely a 2 count, you know. Barely a 2 count. Madness, really. Cody now wrenching the arm of Randy Orton. Going to bring him back up to a kneeling base and a knee right in the face by Cody on Randy Orton, who smartly, I thought he was going to roll to the outside, but no, decides to pull himself up by the corner. And now Cody up on top. Is he thinking, yeah, Frankensteiner by Cody Rhodes on Randy Orton. And now Cody backing away into the corner. I don't know what he's planning here. What is Cody planning here? He runs in with a running forearm. Okay, that's not that interesting. I thought he had some sort of special move planned in there, but nothing the likes. And remember, the PWI 500, if you don't know, is basically ranked around in story, if that makes sense. It's all down to who's been the best over the year in terms of big matches, big opportunities, main event in WrestleMania, winning championships, holding championships, that sort of thing. So it's not down to who is the best in-ring competitor, who's the best on the mic, anything like that. It's all down to how they've been used more than anything else, to be honest. And it is rated, I believe it was like September 2024 through to September 2025. So everything that's happened since September doesn't really count in their calculations for this year. They'll count into next year instead. As Randy now with the elbow on the inside of the knee of Cody and now stalking. Randy's hearing those voices. There's the RKO. Randy does hit it. There's the pin on Cody Rhodes. There's the 1, the 2. No, it's only a 2 count. Cody able to break free. So yeah, it's all down to that sort of stuff. So it's all how you've been used, the championships you've been won. So the likes of Okada, for example, is very high up. He's had some high-profile matches in AEW. He's held the Continental Championship for quite some time. Of course, Cody Rhodes at number 1 had the big victories at WrestleMania, won the World Heavyweight Championship. You've had a lot of stuff like that. And who else is in there? John Moxley, of course, holding the AEW Championship for an entire year. You've got people like Joe Hendry, hasn't really won a lot of championships and so forth, but He made big appearances at both WrestleMania, at the Royal Rumble. He's main evented shows in NXT, in TNA. And that's why he's so high up, as there's the crossroads there by Cody Rhodes for the second time in the match. And this should be it. It's not. Okay. Yeah, Hangman Adam Page at number 4 as well. Then he, of course, won the AEW World Heavyweight Championship after a year of build, taken away from Jon Moxley. That's why he's so high up. So yeah, it shows why these people are where they are and why some of the ones you would expect are possibly not there. Like, for example, Roman Reigns, because he's not really wrestled much this year. That's game, set, match, surely. That's the third crossroads the match. Surely Cody Rhodes, number 1 seed, is moving on to round... No! What? Randy's kicked out of 3 crossroads now. Rhodes now dropping onto the knee of Randy Orton, really wrenching away. Cody now dropping the elbow onto the inside of the knee of Randy Orton. Cody now sending Randy over, dropping the elbow right into the spine. Yeah, there's a few first round matches I'm really looking forward to here, you know. I mean, Mystico versus Bron Breakker should be interesting, but Will Ospreay versus Mascara Dorada. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jacob Fatu looks great as well. Bandito versus Konosuke Takeshita looks really good fun. Vintage Orton there with the power slam, but Cody Rhodes smartly rolling straight to the outside, and I don't think Randy has noticed that Cody came back in. And Cody just waiting his moment. Catches Randy up with that front suplex. And there is the pin for the 1, the 2, and the 3. Okay, you hit 3 crossroads. It's not enough, but a stupid front suplex is enough to confirm your place in round number 2. There we go. Cody Rhodes, for the first time in SWE history, is now in the positives. Randy Orton, with that loss, then moves down to a +8 after 40 matches. And Cody Rhodes having a fantastic year, and this really could be his year, you know. He gets himself up to a +1 after 35. He's +5 for the year now. Started off at -4. I was talking about how bad it was. But yeah, like I say, this really could be his opportunity to showcase his ability and level himself up. Randy did very well. He put on a fantastic performance, survived 3 crossroads, but eventually the front suplex was enough to finish him off. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. All the damage that had been done all culminated into that front suplex. And Cody Rhodes, as I said, I think will be the favourite in this competition, because he will always get the lowest seeded person. So, of course, Cody Rhodes was seeded number 1. Moxley's 2. Gunther is 3. Hangman Adam Page is 4. Goto 5. Jey Uso 6. Swerve Strickland 7. Seth Rollins 8. Mystico 9. Ospreay 10. Okada 11. Hendry 12. Zack Sabre Jr. is 13. Obafemi's 14. CM Punk is 15. Bandito 16. And then you've got Konosuke Takeshita is 17. Damian Priest is 18. Trick Williams is 19. Jacob Fatu is 20. Nick Nemeth is 21. LA Knight is 22. Mascara Dorada 23. Bron Breakker 24. Masha Slamovich is 25. Ozawa is 26. Tetsuya Naito 27. Mark Briscoe 28. El Hijo del Vikingo 29. MJF 30. And Yota Tsuji is 31. And of course, Randy Orton was 32. So the lowest ranked person who makes it through to the next round will face off against Cody Rhodes. But yeah, it'll be interesting what happens. That is just the first match of many. Next up, we'll have Jon Moxley versus New Japan Pro Wrestling's Yota Tsuji. I'll have to have a look and try and find out why he has made his way onto the list. I don't know a ton about him, but we'll see what he has won over the last year to see if he deserves it. Right. I'll love you, leave it then. Good night, God bless. I'll be the same. I shall see you all very, very soon for our next match. Jon Moxley versus Yota Tsuji. Goodbye.